Marion County Prosecutor Ryan Mears joins Top Story now. Mr. Prosecutor, thanks so much for joining our broadcast. I appreciate that. My first question to you, when you saw the evidence, whether it be the surveillance video or what investigators brought to you, what did you think about this crime?
That it was completely unnecessary, that this was one of those situations that didn't need to occur. You have a 38-year-old former professional athlete who is alleged to be involved in a violent confrontation with a 69-year-old man, which is literally over a parking spot. And under those circumstances, no one should walk away with serious injuries, yet that's what we're dealing with.
You know, you look at the injuries of the victim in this case, the 69-year-old man you mentioned. I mean, they look pretty severe. There's a gash to the face. There's a neck brace. What is your understanding of how this person is doing tonight?
Well, unfortunately, this person sustained very significant injuries as a result of this incident. And that's why we made the decision to file the charges today, because it needed to reflect the seriousness of what took place. This individual is dealing with not only significant pain, but also very likely facing the potential of having to deal with permanent scarring on their body. And fortunately, we've been able to reach out to him. That he's in good spirits and he's progressing, but he's progressing very slowly. And this is one of those events that's probably going to stay with him the rest of his life.
So I don't know if there are stand your ground laws in Indianapolis. I'm not familiar with it. I'm sure you can educate us. But is this one of those cases where the 69-year-old man was in fear of his life and that's why he stabbed Mark Sanchez? Is that your understanding?
Well, that's currently the allegations. And Indiana has some of the most robust self-defense laws in the entire country. And when you talk about stand your ground, it means you have no duty to retreat. And so a central theme of this case is going to be the application of Indiana's self-defense laws to exactly what took place. Certainly, it's our perspective at this point in time, based on the allegations that have been submitted to us, that our victim was acting in self-defense and that his actions were supported by the Indiana self-defense law, which is why we made the charging decision that we made.
What's your understanding of Mark Sanchez's condition here? Was he intoxicated? Do you know that for sure?
Well, one of the allegations is that he was intoxicated. He has been charged with public intoxication. One of the things that we're going to do as we move forward with this investigation is obviously we're very interested in what the toxicology reports may reveal. That's certainly protected medical history. And so we're going to work with investigators to try to gather as much information as possible so we can have a complete picture of what took place.
Yeah, I do want to ask you, what is your understanding and what can you share with our viewers as far as what happened before the incident, the altercation, if you will? There's been some reporting that Mark Sanchez was doing wind sprints in the alley where the 69-year-old delivery driver was parked. Is that your understanding?
Well, the good thing about this case is that there is surveillance footage all up and down that alley. And so we do have a pretty clear picture of what took place. The allegations are currently that this is where the confrontation took place, was inside that alley. Certainly, you do see Mr. Sanchez running at times before he makes contact with the victim in this case.
Do you have any idea why he was running that late at night?
Not sure why he was running that late at night, and certainly not sure as to why there was a dispute over a parking spot when, again, this individual was just trying to do their job late at night, trying to fulfill their obligations, their work obligations. Somehow it resulted in this violent confrontation. I
know you're going to follow the evidence wherever it leads you, right? But I do have to ask you, I mean, is there a chance here that Mark Sanchez felt his life was threatened?
Well, certainly people can have different perspectives based on the evidence that's available to us now at this particular point in time. We've heard the victim's perspective. We had the opportunity to review the surveillance footage, and the allegations that have been presented to us put us in a position where we felt comfortable filing the charges that we announced today.
What is next for Mark Sanchez? Where is he right now? Is he still being held behind bars? Can he bond out?
He has posted bond, and then the court will set this matter for initial hearing. Because we did increase the level of charges, it'll be reassigned to a new court, which we anticipate happening in the next day. What
was it for you that you decided to change to go from misdemeanor to felony? What did you see that caused you to do that?
It was really just a review of the medical information made available to us, and then having a follow-up conversation with the victim. When we initially made contact with the victim, it's important to note that he had not yet received medical treatment. He was actually going into the hospital, and then when we were able to have that follow-up conversation, we were able to get a more complete picture of the injuries that he suffered and also the lasting impact that these injuries are going to have on him, and that's what allowed us to be in a position to file the additional, more serious felony charges.
Is there any evidence, any testimony that Mark Sanchez tried to use his celebrity to either get out of this or to get lesser charges?
No.
And then if he is convicted, what kind of prison time could he face for this?
So on a level 5 felony in the state of Indiana, it's a range of penalty from 1 year to 6 years in the Indiana Department of Correction.
Okay. And then can you tell us a little more about the victim here? We know that he's 69 years old. He's a delivery truck driver. Do you know roughly how tall he was? And there's also been some reporting that he uses hearing aids but didn't have them on at the time.
That is correct. One of the things that he makes reference to is that he did need the use of hearing aids. He's a 69-year-old man. He's certainly not the largest guy, and certainly his stature would be smaller than that of the other person involved in the confrontation. Is
there anything else that people should know about this case that maybe hasn't been put out there yet?
I don't think so.
Okay. Sir, we thank you for your time. Thank you for coming on and helping us out tonight. We thank you for watching, and remember, stay updated on breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or watch live on our YouTube channel.